Holy anxiety. Hello, and welcome to the Initiative Order, and welcome to the second episode of Chapter 1 of Far Realms. Real quick before we jump into player introductions and start setting the spooky mood, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. First on our list, of course, is Session Zero Clothing. They have D&D inspired streetwear, really awesome shirts and things, and you should definitely check them out. You can use the code ORDER at checkout for 15% off, because again, why wouldn't you do that? Discounts are life. Second up on our list is Norse Foundry. They make wicked awesome artisan dice. Anything from metal to wood, all of the above, go check them out. It's really amazing. You can use the code TIO15 at checkout for 15% off there. 15% off dice. I'm not going to argue because I'm a dice hoarder. Roaming player gear. Again, amazing tabletop gaming supplies by our very own GotDM. Just saying, go give him love and support. Go check out their really awesome selection of really cool things. You can use the code Carnaby20 for 20% off of the dice tower and dice tray combo set. Go give that a look. And last up on our sponsor list is Mithril Armory. They make amazing tabletop tiles and like 10 D20s, 10 sheets that fold up into all of the polyhedral dice. See, that's what it is, and that's what it looks like if you're successful and good at it, which I'm not. That's why I make resin ones, because I tried that and April beat me. Not chills though, I beat chills. That's all that matters. Okay, and another fun thing that we got, in case you haven't checked it out yet, the Initiative Order has merch over on TeePublic, and so does this show. So you should go buy a shirt from us because you love us. And if you love us and the players and what we're doing and all the spooky tales that we're telling, and you want to give us some love, support, and tippage just out of the kindness of your heart, we will split that between all of the party members, and you can go check us out on our Ko-fi and give us some love there. All right. Bringing it in, though. Let's start out with our least nerved out character. Currently, Mr. Jack Graves. Ronan, please introduce yourself. Give a brief insight onto your character, and then before you pass it on over, please say how your character is feeling in this moment.
Okay. Hey, I'm Ronan Fox. You can find me at Ronan Fox on all the socials and on Twitch, where I make D&D content like world building and adventure builds. I am playing Alex from no, never mind. Sorry, wrong character. I'm playing Jack Grace. And he's feeling pretty good, I guess. He's all right. He's very much a skeptic on all this sort of stuff. He had an intuition that this was not a simple death, and he was right about that, and so he's feeling pretty good about himself. Although the people he's there with, he feels like he's trying to carry them a little bit right now. So yeah, that's how he's feeling.
Okay. Eleonora the Seer.
Hi, I'm johannaxmachina. You can find me at johannaxmachina on Instagram or TikTok, where I mostly make anime videos, not gonna lie. But Eleonora is very frightened right now, very much confronting what she thought was not real, and finding out that, oh heck, maybe it is. So, a little spooked right now.
The least casual person in the room.
That's only because you got me in the least casual circumstances. But hey, what can I say? It's Jay Casual. You can find me on all social media at Just2Casual. And you can find me on Twitch at Casual Creativity, where I'm a variety streamer, content creator, storyteller extraordinaire, and trying to add to my resume as a published author. So stay tuned for that video. Amazing game design, and quote unquote, there's a video of game being made as well in the background. So look forward to all that. I am Tyson James Everett, vlogger, blogger, and everything you knew, and fan of Frogger, and loves going around taking pictures, writing stories, and, well, meeting new people. The best way to explain what Tyson is feeling, for those that know what a hypnic jerk is, Tyson's in a perpetual state of a hypnic jerk. A hypnic jerk is when you're starting to fall asleep and when you jolt awake and you have that anxiety of did you just fall off a cliff? I'm in a perpetual state of that.
See what I mean? Carrying them.
Yeah. And I am Taryn Hackett. I am your keeper and storyteller this evening. I am a generally creative human, tabletop RPG performer, and GM, as well as a dice maker under the moniker of Umbral Oculus Dice. You can check out all of my Umbral Oculus Dice things through kofi.com/UO_dice, and you can follow the link to my Instagram, my TeePublic, because I have merch, and you can check out my dice shop. Other than that, I'm all over the place streaming right now over on DM Screenings channel as an adorable Hexblood Druid, and tomorrow night on our Fallout TTRPG as Peggy Sue, basically a gunslinger. But tonight again, I am your storyteller and your keeper. And with that, again, I do want to remind everybody this is a horror TTRPG. There will be horror themes, as in every horror movie. Some of it may be a bit much for people, and if it is, at any point, please feel free to step away, take a breath, whatever you need to do, because some of it can get intense. It kind of depends on how many mousetrap these guys want to set off today. Maybe like last time. But with that, your perception has failed you all. You got a taste for what was beyond the veil, but it's time to step back in. And with that, let's roll the intro. So, you all made your way up a rocky road up the mountainside. Dark storm clouds in the distance. You all, for one reason or another, chose to attend the wake, funeral, and will reading of a one Dr. Hanson Borland, taking place in his family manor of Borland Manor. Is a notoriously secluded, massive Victorian building, isolated at the mountaintops, only accessible during not only certain hours of the day, but specifically through cart travel. Upon arriving and stumbling into one another, you immediately began to get uneasy feelings. Tyson immediately encountered the assistant of a one Dr. Hansen Borland. Coughing, very sick, notedly being sick for weeks, even prior to Dr. Hansen's death. Taking pictures, of course, as is very common for Tyson to do, in spite of people not wanting to take them. Eleonora made her way up to her usual bedroom in the manor, as she is a frequent guest of Dr. Borland. However, when attempting to peer into the mood of the home of her recently deceased friend, she began to pick up on feelings of hunger and cold and isolation. She then felt herself attacked and fell to the floor before being rescued by the manor's maid, Mimi. Jack immediately begins nosing around the home, getting a lay of the land, making a point of speaking to each person he encountered, specifically the ex-wife of the recently deceased Dr. Borland. While initially cold in her reception of Jack, seems like she might be hiding something. He's not sure. But he also caught sight of her mute son, who already wasn't a big fan of Tyson. Eventually, the three of you stumbled into each other, experienced some brunch with the usual staff before hearing a loud thud upstairs. You all rushed to the scene to find the assistant passed out in a pool of blood, seemingly coming from his nose in the floor of the office across the hall from Dr. Borland's room. And in various ways, whether attempting to analyze the situation and ignore the assistant, you experienced visions, impulses, and began to piece together that maybe this place wasn't everything you thought it was. Dilapidated walls, decaying furniture, shattered windows. And these visions quickly disappeared. You probed further into Dr. Borland's now vacant since his passing into his bedroom. You found claw marks across the pillar of one of his bed and across the floor. You decided to make your way out of the home pretty quickly after going back downstairs and seeing the reception of other guests and noticing that you couldn't understand what they were saying, and they had no faces. You all took the time and sat outside on the back patio. Tyson stepping away to go get pictures of the home to see what he could see. Jack and Eleonora remaining on the patio and noticing that Gingham, the groundskeeper, was smoking his pipe further up the mountainside in his home, notably distant from the manor. And so we pick up. Tyson, you had walked away, and as you zoomed in closer and closer, you noticed a woman sitting in the widow's walk. As you zoomed in further and further, you realize she looks familiar. Almost like your mother, but aged and in the usual maid's attire. You glance away from your camera and back, and she's gone. The rain is coming down harder now. There is a crash of thunder overhead. And you realize as you're standing there in the rain, you begin to lose sight of the house because the rain has become so heavy. You can just vaguely make out the lantern on each side of the massive red doorway. There's another crash of thunder.
house still looks in its dilapidated form to me, or does it look fixed?
It looks pristine. It looks well kept. It looks beautiful red brick. I like the English ivy growing up the sides, white trim around the windows, capped in a lovely black clover window on each, especially of the second and third floor. There's another crash of thunder, and it almost sounds like it's roaring at the back of your neck.
Tyson's gonna return to Jack and Eleonora.
You begin to walk that direction. And as you're walking, you bump into the fountain. It catches you in the shin. And you happen to look up. And the weeping angel's hands are off of her face. And her head is turned, staring down at you. The water in the fountain is no longer clear. It is black with ribbons of red. The red ribbons and black muck are pouring from her eyes as she's looking at you. And as you stare just a little bit longer, her jaw slowly begins to drop down. Massive teeth, pointed. The jaw continues to lower. This liquid bursts from her mouth at you. Please roll an evade real quick.
An evade? You sure you didn't mean, I don't know, willpower, intuition, literally any other skill?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Evade. Okay,
You
that's
got this. I believe in you.
fine. Believe for me that's
I
going to
don't.
be... That's the avoid harm, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Avoid harm is your reflexes.
Oh no, I do have... Okay, that's a 13. Yeah, 13.
13? Okay. So you manage to mostly dodge, and jump backwards. But as you do, this slimy liquid catches you on the chest and runs down your front. And you begin to, frantically wipe as it burns.
Can I just remove my shirt?
You look down and it's gone. And then you look back up and the angel's hands are...
I feel like in the midst of the panic, I'm still gonna
Yeah, you take
remove my shirt.
You take your shirt off and throw it to the ground only to see that there is no liquid. The fountain is clear. You hear a voice at the door and the door open. It's Mimi. What are you doing? Get. And she starts motioning frantically to you as there's another massive crash of thunder overhead.
Do I have an eye line on Eleonora and
You can't even see Mimi. You just see the lantern.
I don't want to go to the... I'm going to the house.
Okay. You begin to step slowly towards the house.
Yeah. That is what I do.
Okay. You make your way back to the porch, and Mimi is at the door. What do you do? Why would you... And she's just pointing at the weather, and you're shirtless. Let's take you to your room and get you proper. As you look behind her, and several of the guests are kind of standing there with their sherry glasses, kind of looking at you, very confused.
So they're looking confused, which means they have faces now.
Yes. You hear somebody mutter something under the breath. Oh, I heard about that one. Yeah, I heard he's a freeloader.
I'm gonna stand up and go over by Tyson because I'm assuming I can kind of hear this background. I'm gonna be like, I
Nope.
dare. Oh, I can't hear it. Okay.
Nope, you are
I think we're still in
outside.
the gazebo.
Yeah, you're still off to the side.
Oh, I thought we were.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, apparently it's a larger distance, and the rain does not help. Mimi, who's which the servant, the maids?
Huh?
Who's working? No, it's not just you. Who else?
Well, we hired a bunch of new staff to help with all of that.
But particularly like, because Mimi's wearing this maid outfit specifically that I.
Mhm.
And most of the other servers have different types of clothing. Like, is it main house people wear this, or is it like even the new people that I don't recognize?
It depends. In this moment, you're looking over, and there are a couple of servers wearing the waist-high pants and the small sport jacket. You do see another female walk briskly behind wearing the maid outfit. You see this female walk briskly into the room where you know the wake was to be the red room, which is attached to Dr. Borland's office as well.
Just how often did my mom visit here? Since obviously you work here, you had to have seen her come and go a few times, maybe?
You should go check your father's office. You should go check. And she just turns and walks away
Mimi,
quickly.
what?
And she's gone. Like, she goes behind a stairwell and goes behind a hidden door and is gone.
And I'm gonna try to look out the door because I haven't quite left, I believe, that main
Outside.
area.
You look out and it is pouring down rain, and it is getting darker faster, enough that one of the trees is leaning.
Jack? Eleonora?
So, Jack and Eleonora, you are sitting on this patio. Jack, you are taking note of Gingham up on the mountainside, sitting on his porch. You can see the faint glow, even through the rain. But the rain picks up and eventually drowns out the sight of this house. And it is the two of you sitting quietly.
How are you feeling?
I have felt better, I will say. It's not every day I go to a funeral and people start getting attacked by shadows, you know. This is a new one for me.
Definitely a weird house. I'll give it that.
Okay. We're making progress. We're making progress.
Sure.
Do you think Tyson's okay out there? I mean, it's coming down so hard. I can barely see anything.
Yeah, I'm sure he's fine.
You can again see movement from inside those windows. But this time it appears to be people in sports jackets. You can see the collars. It seems the guests have made their way further into the home.
Okay.
But it seems to be fairly active inside, and you're looking at these people now through the window, and they're just a bunch of regular Joes. There are a few women. Eleonora, you do recognize a couple as being some of his closer circle, people that he would have regularly at dinners. Jack, you don't particularly recognize any of these people, but they're a little less off-putting. You do notice a familiar vest and bow tie walking through them and then phasing out.
Can we still see Gingham's house or light or whatever that is up across from the property?
You know the general direction. You can't distinctly see it now, but I mean it was a straight shot. You do know where it's at.
Okay. I'm gonna look over to Jack and I'm gonna just kind of start up a conversation, kind of I had been here many times before, and I always cracked it up to Gingham just kind of being, kind of a nasty old man, but maybe there's something more to it. Maybe he knows more about this house than we do. I don't know. I'm just trying to make sense of it all.
Is this the was it always this weird? You said you've been here a lot.
Yeah, I have been here many a times. Me me and Hanson, we were quite close. I almost looked up to him as a father figure for a good portion of my life, but never have I ever experienced anything feeling like this.
Jack, Eleonora. You begin to hear Tyson's voice coming from the back side of the house, back around the edge where the pool is. It sounds like it's coming from the back patio. Eleonora, this is an area you're familiar with.
Okay. Would I know how to get there, like, fairly quickly without being drenched? Okay.
Yeah, no, this porch wraps all the way back around to where
okay.
the pool area is. But you do hear the voice coming from that direction.
I'll start heading towards the voice then, like, I'm not gonna think twice about it.
Jack, are you following?
Yeah.
Okay. So you begin to make your way back and around. You now see this porch drops off, and down below is the beautifully kept pool, white marble bottom, and just immaculately kept backyard. Beyond that, you do see rows of tombstones and a mausoleum. As beyond that fence is the family graveyard. And as you look around, you don't see anybody on that back porch. The back porch door is open, and you can hear the clamoring of guests coming from the red room as that does open onto the back patio. So you do hear people beginning to gather for the wake.
I'm gonna look around, and I'm just gonna assume he would have gone into the red room, and that's why I can't see him, but I'm gonna continue on into there.
Okay. Jack, are you following?
1 second. So, just thinking about the scene where Mr. Hanson was supposedly killed.
Mm-hmm.
Would I know either from the gazebo or on around back what window that would have been? Remember the ones that were drawn shut?
Yeah.
Like, would I know which one that is from the outside?
From the outside, that would have been, like, if you are facing the house from the back patio, it would have been second floor, far left 3.
And could I do a crime scene investigation or something to see if I could tell if there was a way up there from the outside?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. 12?
12?
It's
Okay.
one question.
Yep.
Could somebody make it up from the outside?
There are trellises, beautifully kept, very, it's a dark wood. This English ivy is growing all the way up, and it does go up most of the house on this side. So in theory...
I have like 3 more questions, but that's fine. Okay, cool. I will just head in. I'll make note of that, and then I'll head in after her.
Okay. So you head into the red room, and immediately you see all of these nice dressed people. Like I said, some of them, Eleonora, you kind of vaguely recognize. As you walk in, the wood floor steps off to 2 sides. To your left is the red room with everybody gathering for the wake. You do see a closed casket currently at the head of the room. On the right side, you see it step down into kind of a small living space and a closed door that, Eleonora, you do know to be Dr. Borland's office.
Okay. I'm going to walk up towards the office and kind of peek in if the door is open, because I'm still trying to find what I'm trying to find, but...
You go to the door and you touch the handle and you kind of quietly twist it, and it's not locked.
Okay. I'm going to make a note of that and then continue to kind of like search the room, see if I see Tyson anywhere or anyone else that looks familiar.
Okay. So as you two begin to circle the room, Tyson, you call through the front and nobody comes. And you were just standing there shirtless in front of a bunch of people. Mimi is gone and they are gawking. And at some point you do hear, "Dear God, can't even make yourself decent in this hour?"
At least I'm decent to be around. As Tyson just kind of scoffs and will... I know Borland's office is on the 1st floor.
Mm-hmm.
And my room's on the 2nd floor.
Mm-hmm.
The servants' quarters is on the 1st floor.
The servants' quarters is actually in the basement.
Never mind. we're just gonna not go. Okay.
You always go to the basement first. What are you talking about?
You don't
You've
go to
seen
basements, you don't go
Phasmo.
to attics, you don't
Standard
go to
protocol.
sheds, you don't go none of that. Borland's office from where I'm at is a direct way, or do I have to go through
Straight down the hallway, you see all of the people. I mean, there's a surprising number of people here, but they're littered throughout. But you do know that it's straight and to your left. But you are currently shirtless, and everyone is gawking at you. You do see your favorite buddy with his chalkboard standing up over the railing with his chalkboard hanging down, and all there is like a laughing face, nicely illustrated.
Yep, that would be so great if you could actually laugh. And is there any of the servant workers nearby?
You're looking around, and not currently. You can hear off in the background, you can hear Viv the cook kind of yelling orders to like people helping her. As you're standing there, you do see a maid briskly walk by you and go up the stairs, looking down, not making eye contact, and seemingly.
As she comes around, I know you're busy, but can you bring me a towel and a spare shirt?
I can? Do you not have a room? Aren't you? You're like on the list that they gave us.
I'm aware, but could you be so kind to bring me one?
I can. Is it true what they're all saying?
Is what true?
Like, they're saying that this house is yours.
Mine? I'm pretty sure at the end of this all, Madame Ruby over there is gonna claim it.
That's not what I heard. I heard they got into a big fight like the week before he died because he cut her out of his will.
Who'd you hear this from?
One of the other staff from upstairs.
Do you know who particular? Like who?
She's just this woman. I don't know. She came with me. I don't know her name. But she's in charge of like the room keeping.
And they say it's supposed to go to me, not to Madame Bloodfeud or Noah Lips.
I don't know what any of that means, but that's what she was saying. I don't know. She seems like a chatty Cathy. But I really do have to go. They said the bathroom's clogged upstairs.
Can you at least bring me a towel? I do have a spare shirt, but I do need a towel.
Oh, okay. And she just goes back into the kitchen.
And I'm taking a hard mental note of exactly. That's why I did a face scan. I also want to, as she's getting ready to walk away, I want to try to read her to get a better idea on particularly how she's feeling.
Like that specific individual?
Yeah, like while I'm conversing with her, I want to get a gauge on like how she's feeling talking with me, being stopped, and so on.
Okay. What are you rolling?
It is going to be read a person, but
okay.
My ability is I always get an additional question regardless of my roll. So no matter what, I at least get to know how she feels. The roll tells me if I can get more.
Okay.
For that is a 17.
A 17. Okay. You do.
So that means I get 2 plus, so 3 questions. So one, I want to get an idea of like, how is she feeling talking with me in that moment?
She seems eager to talk to you and a bit anxious.
Eager and anxious. The question I'm pulling is, what do you wish I would do? Is there any way I can get what kind of vibe I'm getting that she's expecting or hoping I would do?
She wants you to, like, it seemed like she wanted you to say, yeah, this is totally mine. It seemed like she was intrigued.
I mean, this one might be an easy one, but I want to, how could I get you to work with me to give me more answers, to befriend me in a deeper level?
She seems like the kind of person that probably at this moment, while working here and you're talking to her, she seems kind of like eager for all of this gossip and all of this conversation. It seems like she's not having a lot of conversation while she's here. It's a lot of running around and being told what to do.
Got it. Then yeah, so Tyson is going to walk into this towards where I know the wake's going to be, and I'm not putting on a shirt. I'm staying shirtless.
Okay.
And still damp.
Okay, so Eleonora, as you're sitting there, your hand on the door, begin making your rounds. Jack, you are also making your rounds. Tyson walks in without a shirt on.
I'm gonna be confused. What is everyone else in the room doing? Like, are they kind of like paying their respects, or like what are they doing?
They seem to mostly be chit-chatting. It seems like the casket is still closed, and so like it hasn't officially begun, perhaps.
Yeah.
It seems like they're gathering for it. It does seem there is a little bit of a frantic nature, as it does seem that since the assistant is not found, because last you all heard there was a scream.
Okay.
But it does not seem that people are reacting to the scream.
Okay.
But they all seem a bit frantic because the assistant has not shown up to help.
Okay, I'm gonna walk over to Tyson and just gonna be confused, just gonna go up and be like, "Are you okay? Like, we heard you call us, but what happened to your shirt? Do I want to know? I mean,
things aren't as they should be, that they seem. I know that doesn't make sense, but I know it was weird here, but there's something that's off.
I completely agree with you. I'm glad I'm not losing my mind. Or maybe we both are, that's always a possibility. But, have you heard anything? Did you see anything out there? We lost you for a good minute in the rain.
I don't even know how to try to explain. And then Tyson's gonna make like a note of Borland's office, and then
crash of thunder.
I need to check something. Come with me. Wait, where's Jack?
He was right behind me a second ago.
Jack is standing there with a cigarette in hand, looking at you.
They said it was casual, but you seem to be taking it a little far.
Okay. I'm not sure to what level, what degree, but the only thing I know, at least for sure, is that the three of us, or the only thing I can believe for certain is real here.
That sounds good, but well, what did you want me to go and do with you?
I need to check Borland's office. Something's not adding up, and there's a lot of talk about a lot of things that my hope is, I'm assuming his office would have information on people who come into this house, and I need to know something, because it's just not making sense.
Tyson, I know you're not going to like this idea, but I think I have an even better idea of what we could do to get some answers. What if, things are already going a bit strange? What if we talk to Hanson himself?
Okay.
What do you want to do? Raise the casket?
Not exactly.
At that moment,
Great.
Frederick, the butler before towering, gaunt, dark figure, walks in very promptly, very proud, with purpose. Makes a sharp turn down the steps into the red room and marches to the front of the room towards the casket. It's a lovely obsidian black casket. Similar silver filigree to what is found all over the manor. Strange, twisting, occasional, hidden eyes within this scroll work. He walks forward. You can see visibly him take a deep sigh as he reaches down, unlatches something, and lifts the front half of the casket. He turns to the rest of the room. You may now pay your respects. And he looks down and briskly walks out of the room and turns left into the foyer and goes up the stairs.
The casket being lifted for viewing, Tyson will reach into my canvas camera bag. I kept a button up in there because I pack real light, so I'll pull out the button up and at least slide that on.
Mm-hmm. So you pull your button up out and you put it on, and as you're buttoning, it's strange. This is not the shirt that you packed. This is a white linen shirt, and it has like a red brocade, like Victorian-esque button-up, like vest attached to this white linen shirt. It has a very high collar.
Yeah, of course.
Aisle.
Eleonora, you
casual, but wow.
Eleonora, you recognize this shirt. This is the shirt that Hanson wore the last time you saw him.
Tyson, did you get that shirt from a room here, or?
And the worst part is, like, Tyson wouldn't even look at the shirt until like it's halfway on, and then get to the buttons and be like, "No, this isn't what I didn't pack this. I don't shop like this."
Doesn't really go with your bike.
Thank you.
That's the last thing I saw Hanson wearing before he died. I just
Takes it off.
I'm sure there's more than one.
As you take it off and you look back, that's your button-up.
And I scoot it away. I just kick it. Like, nope.
The thunder is getting louder outside. The rain is so heavy. You can now see that the rain is like hitting the windows, almost like it's so windy outside that it's almost parallel.
Can I do one thing real fast? Whenever the casket was raised, can I quickly read the crowd that was in the red room? Specifically, oh, go ahead.
No, yeah.
I specifically was going to look for people that were, I guess for the lack of a better word, unsurprised by the sight of him.
It seemed like most of them didn't get they're lining up. It seems like the first couple people going through look down, make a couple comments to each other and walk off. One of the people walking by stops, looks down, and is like, whispers over to their female companion something under their breath, and they're shaking their head. And as they're walking away, they look perplexed.
Okay, I just want to keep an eye on them as we're doing our thing.
Okay.
I want to trigger one of my own disadvantages.
Which is?
I feel like at the sight of seeing
you don't
the body.
You don't see the body from here. Like, it's so deep, you don't see him. You just see it open. Do you want to go look at the body? No,
not yet. So we'll hold out for a little while.
Eleonora, back to what you were saying. I am in search of answers as well, and I think we may find something a little bit more concrete in the office. Tyson, you may be right. I mean, we can find logs. Who knows what's in there? I don't know what answers you're looking for, but it may hold mine.
Oh, whatever I find, I don't feel like it's going to be good news one way or the other.
Judging by that room we saw, and I almost know it's not going to be good news.
And then Tyson's going to just make his way to the office.
You go to put your hand on the doorknob? It's locked.
Did I see Eleonora try the door?
Mm-hmm.
I tried the door a moment ago and...
Do you try the door?
It was unlocked. Yeah, I'm going to go up and try it.
It opens.
I'm just going to look back at Tyson. I'm going to be like, Tyson, you got to turn it. And I'm just going to go in.
It's a push.
Yeah, no. That makes sense.
Okay.
And then
Okay. So you walk
Tyson's
in.
gonna try to enter the room. Yeah.
Who is the last to enter?
I would assume Tyson, right? Because I would have been following Eleonora when she opened it.
Okay.
Probably. Technically, it would have been Tyson because
Okay.
Tyson be embarrassed.
Tyson, you look back, and 3 of the guests are staring straight at you. Just.
Yep. And Tyson's gonna be like, take a picture. It lasts longer, and go into the room.
Okay. You close the door. So now you are in a kind of, at this point, a little dusty, but it's a decent 10 by 10 square office space, beautiful mahogany desk. Oil lamps, again, are all over the room, not currently lit. So this is a dark room except for the little bit of light that is peering through the forest green velvet curtains. The carpet is a very plush forest green as well. There are 2 chairs sitting in front of the desk and 1 behind. Bookcases all around, armchair on one side, a little writing desk on the other, and a built-in. This one on your left, the bookshelf is built into the wall rather than a standalone bookshelf.
Tyson
Yeah,
is
go ahead.
because Tyson is going to immediately go straight to the desk.
Okay.
Ditto.
Okay, you both go
And-
to the desk.
Was he left-handed or right-handed?
He was actually left-handed.
Tyson is going to start checking the left drawers.
Okay.
From the seating side. I don't know how to, yeah, you know what I mean.
Okay, that will be... That's an investigation, but...
While doing this, is it possible to accidentally trigger my enhanced awareness?
Accidentally
And can I use investigator on
not
this?
here.
Not here?
You can use investigation. Yeah, you can use that. Not here, actually. And if you want to make a reasoning, basically an investigation, go for it. That would be.
Damn. I forgot investigation.
Investigate.
Not my skill.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's not bad. It's an 11 for investigate.
An
At
11.
13.
11 and a 13. Okay. Okay. So you continue to look through them. What specifically are you each looking for?
That depends on this question. My understanding, Mr. Hansen, do I know what he technically did for work? I want to recall this real quick before I.
He was born wealthy, and he collected and traded
That's
and
what I
sold
thought.
occult rarities.
Did he at any point do any form of journaling, logging, writing?
All the time.
So I'm trying to find notes, like a notebook, a journal, a ledger, something of that type of that
Okay.
relates to any stuff he's learned, studied, or particularly about the workers here.
Okay. Ronan, what is Jack looking for?
Similar, but as far as specifics for him, he's looking for things that were very close to the day of his death. So who was there? What artifact had he just recently got? All the same kind of questions, just pinpointed to that location or that date.
Okay. So you guys are digging, and there's like random papers or some receipts, but it's for random land purchases, and it seems like day-to-day like property management. None of this seems like stuff that, and especially Tyson, this isn't like his stash. Like, you have seen his journals. He kept a journal. He took you on trips.
Yeah.
And Eleonora, what are you investigating, or are you just kind of standing by?
I am also investigating, but I'm looking for something very different. I'm looking for. I'm assuming on one of my visits, I would have known that he had per se a Ouija board, and
Oh,
so
yes.
oh yeah, so that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for anything that like that in his office because we're gonna hold ourselves a séance.
You know that the built-in wall shelf is where he kept, like, you know that for a fact before you guys had like a like a small seance, and
Uh-huh.
it was like you in your mind just vaguely recall him just setting it up on that shelf. So
Okay.
you go to do that. You guys continue to dig, and you're digging, and it seems like those yellow notepads, and it's just like paper and random notes, and some of it's like nonsensical. Like as you're flipping through, one of them is like teal sky, red grass, and it catches you off guard because the
Oh,
sentences
it's
become
literally just gibberish almost.
yes. So you guys are exploring this and discovering that, like, you're both just going through drawers in his desk. Eleonora, you elegantly walk over to this bookshelf. Go ahead and roll an investigate to peruse, as there's just rows of books and boxes. And
18.
18. Okay, look at you. All right. So yeah, you get to ask me 2 questions. I know you're specifically looking for the Ouija board.
Uh-huh.
That will be one. So you're flipping through, and you see there are some statuettes, some brocade fabric wrapped cardboard boxes that seem very nicely kept, just so they look neater on the shelf. And tucked behind a row of them, you see just over the top the thin edge of a Ouija board.
Okay, I'm going to go in and pull that out.
So you pull all of that out, and
Yes.
there's the Ouija board. Do you take the Ouija board?
Yes.
There's a switch behind the Ouija board.
Ooh, I'm going to flip that switch immediately.
You flip the switch, and it's a brass circle, and it has a U ring, and it's currently in the up position, and there's like a little barbell, and you flip down, and as you do, you all hear these gears whirring and clicking, and the bookshelf comes forward out of the wall just a little bit.
I'm gonna whip around, obviously.
You do have one more question, though.
I'm going to ask, does it seem like Borland's presence, like, is it there? Or, like, is there a possibility of contacting him, or?
That one would require use of your soul ability, so you would have to
so we're
try
just doing
to
investigate right now.
Yeah.
Alrighty, I'm also looking for a candle, like any, like,
you're browsing through, and one of those boxes, you kind of, as you were browsing around, one of them you kind of shook, and it sounded like wax, like it sounded like the sound of like candles stuffed away. And if you peer in, there are like easily like 12 or more white, like the storm candles, just fairly large in there, and they have 3 wicks on each one.
Alrighty, I'm gonna grab that and look behind me and make sure they both know, like, this has just opened up, and I'm going to peer inside and see what's in there.
It's dark.
Okay. I'm gonna go over to Jack, and is Jack still smoking? I'm
sure.
Gonna go over to Jack and be like, "Would you mind?" and hand him one of the candles.
He'll light it.
You now have a lit storm candle. Does anybody else take a candle?
Are we going in there? Is that where you wanted to go, Eleanor?
Yes, I'm curious what we have back here. I feel like I have an idea of what it might be, but I'm curious to see.
His real notes might be back there.
Yeah, this is nonsense. So, yeah, let's go. And I'll light 2 more candles, one for me, one for Tyson.
To my understanding, I don't need that candle and Tyson's gonna reach into his camera bag to pull out the light that normally goes onto his camera. What else? What do I actually pull out?
Candle.
Yeah, I thought so.
Hope it's like branded and everything.
I was just saying, you pull out this candle, but it's just this stumpy candle with like it has a metal base on it, and it has kind of like the like reflector over the back, like it's this dented ass tin, so it projects the light, but that's what you pull out.
Yeah.
Are you sure you don't want? I mean, you want me to light your candle?
Actually, yes.
Sure.
And it lights, right?
Yeah. Candle lights. Your legs buckled. No.
I'm assuming Eleanor's gonna go and then Jack. Tyson's gonna stay back just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
My candle's still a candle.
Do you stay in the room as they completely are into the next room?
Like Tyson's gonna be kind of like partially in, so the door doesn't radically shut on him and locking him away. But he's gonna be like halfway in. So that
Are
way
they
if he
still
needs
in
to just,
eyesight?
No, I'm gonna give it enough time where I don't have eye line on them.
It's a small room. Like if you are in that doorway, you can see them.
Then no. So I'll be just a little bit behind them with my focused candle because yeah.
Okay. So
I hate this.
You enter the room. Built into the wall are just rows of, it looks like mirrors, but they're mirror-faced cabinets all the way around. They have the standard like square panes. You can see the latches. It's definitely keyholes all the way around. There is a hexagonal table at the center that is also this mirror-like finish. It's made of black glass. At its center, there is a bunch of engraving, and there is a single chair in there. And under this table, there are rows of shelves, and there are books. Tyson, those are his journals. You recognize them.
I'm immediately going to go through trying to find if there's specifically skimming through to finding that has a ledger of the people that have come in and out of the house, particularly of the servant staff, is my primary goal to find information on.
If you're looking for specifically that, there is on his desk a massive book about this thick that had business ledger on this side.
Yep. That's what I'm going to start.
It's in the other room.
Oh, yeah, I'm not.
You were looking through the drawers. You were looking through the drawers for journals.
That's fair. I'm going to look through the journals to find anything that's focused about the house. That's not just business-based, just his notes about the house.
Okay. So you begin your search. Jack, what are you doing?
Well, you said that the mirrors that line the walls, they're
they look
cabinet
like
doors.
They look like, well, they have keyholes, but they look like cabinet doors. Yeah.
I'm gonna just out of curiosity, because I don't see anything immediately that catches my attention. I just kind of want to try to open the first one that I come to. If I walk in, I would have veered off to the left, so whatever the first one that would have been.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Say it like that.
So the cabinets are floor to ceiling. So there are 3 tiers.
Okay.
Which of the 3 tiers do you open?
I was tearing right, and then no, I'm kidding. I would open the middle one, just the one that's sort of
The
level
one
with me.
dead center.
Yeah.
Okay. You go to open it, and it rattles, and there's a pop, as it sounds like something metal breaks, and it opens, and inside are more shelves, and there are everything. Like there's a jar. It has some kind of liquid. You can't really tell at this moment just opening it. So there's a jar with some kind of liquid. There is an iron filigree box. There is it looks kind of like a painting, but it's been covered in paper. Like it seems like it's wrapped in paper, but you can see just the top edge of like the edge of the canvas. There are 2 more like coffers. They're made of different materials. One looks very, very, very old and appears to have what would be akin to like Hebrew writing across it. At the bottom right corner, there is kind of what looks like a sock doll. It has 2 button eyes and no mouth, but it has at its front like a lock of hair sewn to the front of it.
Okay, 2 questions. One, what are the like? I mentally pictured a locker, but that sounds bigger. So what are like the dimensions of the thing I just opened?
This would be like 3 foot by 3 foot.
Okay. Can I? Oh, the second. What? Could I tell what the metal thing was that broke?
As you're looking at it, it seems like the little lock mechanism. It looks like you look at it and it's like, it looks like it's been bent.
Okay.
Like it just looks bent back, like the opposite way. It doesn't seem to have snapped off. It looks like it was bent in order to open.
And if I hold my candle up, are there any?
As you hold
tag-
the candle up, there are tags. You hold the candle up, and the jar of liquid, there's something floating in it, and it seems to be slowly shifting. And as it turns to look at you, there are 2 little hands that reach and touch the glass. And in the back of your mind, you hear, "Daddy?" Before looking down at the floor and back, and inside of it is a just basically pickled rat.
I closed the door.
You just close it?
Yep. We found his collection, I think.
I'm gonna go.
There's
straight
frantic
towards-
tapping coming from behind that cabinet door.
Oh boy.
Jack, you're the only one that hears it.
I'm going to. I'm gonna fling it open. I'm gonna fling
You
it open.
fling it open?
Yes.
The doll's gone.
I'm assuming neither of you 2 saw what was in here before I just did that.
Tyson looks up from one of the little journals. I was trying to read for something.
Yeah.
I was focusing on whatever this black thing is. Do I have any idea, like, what?
There is a divot in the middle, and you know that crystal balls rest. It looks like somewhere that a crystal ball would rest at its center.
Okay.
As you see this cabinet open, Eleonora, this is his collection.
I'm gonna look back at Jack and be like, I didn't see anything in there, but this is his collection. There's bound to be a little bit of everything.
You can say that again.
Jack,
you
you look
okay?
back. If you look back in the cabinet, the doll's sitting there, bottom right.
I want to. Jack's going to, I should say, pick up the doll.
Okay. So
Just
you
to
pick-
kind of like, because it disappeared, it reappeared. He wants to check the physicality of it. He's going to pick it up, kind of doing a little once over on it.
Okay. So you pick up the doll, and you see, like I said, there's the lock of hair. And I mean, it's this weird sock doll, and you're kind of feeling it. It feels kind of dry and like crunchy. Like it doesn't feel like it's stuffed with cotton. And you kind of turn it over, and as you turn it over, there's like a wriggling at the back of one of the seams. What does Jack do when he sees this wriggling at the back of the seam?
I guess he's gonna pull it apart.
You pull open the seam, and a moth flies up out of it at your face. Please roll a keep it together check, as this is obviously going to startle, poor Jack.
What is that exactly? I forgot. Let's see here.
Keep it
What am I adding to
together. That will be, let me see, that is your willpower.
it? Okay. 14.
14. Okay. You know, let's, let me see. Ooh, do I get to do things? So you. Yeah. Okay. So you're kind of actually startled in this moment, with everything that's been happening, and you do lose one stability. Your current inclination is to look for moths in every room you go to.
Okay.
Because you're kind of grossed out by them at this point. Like, you are startled and are like, because as you're looking around, you don't see that moth anymore. And as you look down at the seam, there's a little bit of cotton fluff coming out, but there's something underneath it.
And I'm inclined to look for moths.
In the room, like,
Okay.
this wouldn't be part of that. You just
Okay.
notice that there's something under the cotton that's very stiff. It's up to you whether Jack would.
Yeah, he would.
Okay,
check.
so you pull it out. It's kind of gray, reddish. There's white. You peel it back, it's a human finger. And as you peel further, it would appear that the skeleton of the stall is a hand. Dried and at the stall's center. Eleonora, you continue to investigate this table at the center. You see the divot. You now realize the room that you're in. You see all of his journals.
Mm-hmm. Have I been in this room before, I'm assuming?
No.
Oh, I haven't. Okay.
This was the room he kept to himself. You had seen him. You've heard him talk about his hidden room. You knew that but you knew that this was the one he was very particularly safe of. Didn't want people to go in there. Didn't trust people.
I see.
Always said that he was keeping stuff safe, keeping people safe.
I see. As I'm looking around the room, I'm gonna notice Jack opening up the boxes, and I'm gonna see if anything else will open or if they're locked.
Okay. You begin to open most of them, or they're locked. Why this one opens, you're not certain. However, the locks on them, frankly, look fairly primitive.
Yeah.
You definitely have a couple of hairpins if that's something you would like to attempt. With that, I would say simply you can roll just a reflexes, and we'll see.
Okay, I'll try that then.
Because you're crafty enough. You've picked some locks in your day.
That's a 9.
You're trying to pick this lock. The hairpin gets stuck, and you're pulling, twisting, and it gets stuck, and it gets pulled in. Your hands go through this keyhole. You find no sound comes from your mouth as you are sucked further into this keyhole, shoulder deep. It makes no sense as you can feel your body being contorted and your flesh ripping. And as you look into this black mirror in front of you, your father's face, eyeless, staring at you, screaming.
I'm immediately trying to push back against this image of whatever I'm seeing.
With that, please roll a keep it together, and you are pushing.
Alrighty, we've got ourselves a 16.
16. You just squint your eyes closed, bear down, and you're pushing. What is Eleonora telling herself to still herself in this moment as you are forcing your way out of this keyhole?
I'm gonna be telling myself you don't know this is happening. Everything is just an illusion. You don't even remember his face.
Okay. As you do this, you look over and Eleonora is just pushing herself off of the cabinets. And you fall to the floor and look up, and it opens in front of you.
I'm gonna scramble back away from the box. Kind of clutching my chest, just
as it opens. There are, again, multiple knickknacks, some of them being like a shrunken head. You definitely see uh, a couple of scrolls tucked away, wrapped in black velvet. At the center, there is an old leather-bound book wrapped in twine. It appears to have some kind of paper label attached to this twine, and there appears to be some form of Asiatic script on it. You are familiar enough, you would recognize that as like a lot of it appears that a lot of the writing on these, the tags, appear to be binding spells or efforts to keep something in.
Okay. I'm gonna like slowly get up and kind of like ease myself back towards the box, trying to like keep myself together and peer back in and see if I can figure out what anything is.
Okay. Go ahead and roll investigate as you're looking through that. Tyson, you're browsing through all of these journals. Roll your investigation if you've not already.
Oh, damn. I have a negative. 14.
A 14? Okay, so I believe that means you get one question?
Yep. Damn, one question.
Yes.
Let's choose. I'm specifically trying to find the journal, because I believe his journals seem to always be written with date like timestamps. So I'm kind of going reverse order from how old I am. I want to find journals related to around the time I would have been conceived and or born, if there's anything documenting that time frame.
Okay. You're going back through, and there are rows. And you know, as you've been told, Hanson kept journals his whole life because he's always traveled. That was what his family let him do even as a child. He had, it was actually Frederick, would go with him all over the world to adventure and to explore at a very young age. Frederick is very worn from this. So you're going back and you go through and you start to, you catch the rhythm. The year that you would have been born or conceived is missing.
Of course it is. Damn, that was my one question. Shit.
You know, because they're the year before and after there, so that you know that it has to exist somewhere. It's just
now
not
does
quite
it
here.
Based on the way the journals are there, is it possible to see, I don't know, the earliest prior to my birth / when I would have been conceived? Does it have any information then? So I basically want to work backwards from there a little further, like the first thing I can find involving before I was born.
Okay.
Just
So
whatever general information he writes.
You notice in the journal before, talking about having a companion with him, going on some of these adventures, specifically one to a coastal region. There was an ancient ruin that he explored with this companion that he simply calls his companion. There is a reference to his parents not being fond of this companion. And that Frederick had sworn him to secrecy.
And he wrote notes about this ancient place that he went to with said companion.
It was kind of what would have been remnants of a very ancient nomadic people. It was supposed to have been like a burial site.
Chris is gonna reach into his canvas bag, and he's gonna pull out his journal, because I'm gonna copy the notes regarding this ruins of sorts, just to have it as reference.
You pull your journal out?
I do.
You pull your journal out and you go to open it and it won't open. It's stiff. And you open it and it's blank.
So each page, because Tyson will be frantically going through.
It's blank. Nothing on it.
Nothing's written, none of the pictures that I pinned in here.
No. Blank.
Does it look worn or new?
Brand new.
who's closer, Jack or Eleanor? To
Jack is currently kind of stifling away from something he's looking at. He is the closest to you, but he looks to be in shock.
That's
Staring
not gonna help
down at
me.
a doll.
And then, all right, so I'm gonna probably go towards Eleanor with my journal, and I'm gonna hold on to the last journal from Hanson, and also mine. I'm gonna just while I'm looking at him, Eleanor, please.
This scare me, but Tyson, yeah, I'm sorry. What?
Just and I'm like I'm gonna show Hanson's journal, and just the part about the companion. Can you read that?
I'm gonna take it, and do I read it just fine? Like,
The part with Hanson's companion?
yeah.
Yeah. Someone that his
Yeah.
parents didn't like had to keep it a secret.
I think Hanson, we got around, I'm pretty sure, but...
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna take my journal. I remember roughly like the certain pages where I would have written certain things.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna be like, now this one talks about a trip to a very nice coastal region. You can read that, right? I'm showing my journal.
It's talking about beautiful white sands, flowing waters, beautiful trees, chirping birds, great food.
Yeah, it sounds like you had a great time.
You can read it.
Yeah. Can
You go further down, talking about random people, business owners.
And like immediately Tyson's gonna try to like peer over to like look at the book.
Blank.
Is everything okay, Tyson? Like, I can read this just fine. Sounds like
Jack.
pretty normal journal for you.
Jack, you hear this going on as you're like finally like looking up and away from the hand doll.
Did we find anything of use? This place is pointless.
And I'm gonna like kind of not so much aggressively, but out of the sheer panic, gonna yank my journal away from Eleonora. Jack, read this page to me. And holding it up to him.
Beautiful teal waters, white sands.
Yeah.
There is tapping coming from behind a different cabinet door, Jack.
Tyson's gonna leave this part of the office and just go into the other office.
Do you hear that?
Hear what?
It's like a tapping.
I don't hear anything.
Tyson, do you leave the room?
I'll pause a moment to listen. I don't hear anything, and then Tyson will head he's going to the business ledger now.
Okay, so you go through the bookshelf and go to the business ledger. You sit down and you flip it open. As you flip it open, the shelf door closes. The office door closes. Tyson, the curtains in the office open. Eleonora and Jack, your candles go out. Eleonora and Jack, you turn around, and sitting in the chair next to the black glass table in the center is a figure. The Ouija board that had been dropped by Eleonora is now resting at the center of this table, and the planchette is moving.
Ooh.
Tyson. The windows are dark and stormy. You can hear rushing of waves, crashing. You look to the windows. Crash of thunder. There are hands, bloodied, clawing at the windows. You hear screaming. You hear a feminine voice screech out your name. You hear the crashing of glass. And that is where we're going to go ahead and take our quick 10-minute break. We will be back in about 10. Go stretch it. We might have lost Casual out of rage.
The worst wake ever.
And we'll be back and continue the normal thing that's totally not sus. And welcome back to Far Realms and the trauma that I've been unleashing upon these three lost souls. So, let's go ahead real quick, because let's continue the shout outs real quick. Let's go round robin. Who you are, who you're playing. Start with Jack.
Hey, I'm Ronan Fox. You can find me at Ronan Fox on all the socials and on Twitch. I'm a D&D content creator on Twitch, streaming every Sunday and Monday. And I am playing Jack Graves. Hashtag baby hand. I don't really know what's going on anymore.
Hashtag baby hand.
Eleonora.
I'm Johannaxmachina. You can find me at johannaxmachina on social media. And I'm playing Eleonora the Seer. And we're feeling a bit spooked right now. Maybe, meeting our lost companion.
Tyson.
Hi, I'm Jay Casual, all social media at Just2Casual and Casual Creativity on Twitch. I am Tyson, and I do not belong here. And the problem is that might be more true than I would like it to be.
Okay. Taryn Hackett, you can catch me on all the socials at Val Rook. I am a dice maker under the moniker of Umbral Oculus Dice, and you can check me out on Instagram at UO_dice. So picking back up, you'd made your way during the wake into Hanson's empty office, finding candles, Ouija board, and finding the hidden room behind the bookcase. You began probing around, finding oddities, having visions. Jack discovering a doll with a human hand dehydrated at its center. Eleonora having a vision of an eyeless man. Tyson exiting the room after discovering that his journal is blank. The bookshelf slamming behind him. Only to find the windows curtains drawn back, dark outside, bloodied hands clawing at the panes, familiar screaming, frantic sounds, breaking glass. Eleonora and Jack, you are alone in this collection room. Your candles go dim. The Ouija board is now at the center of the room on the altar. And there is a figure sitting in the shadows in the chair. And the planchette begins to move.
I'm going to look over to Jack and smile and be like, looks like we're going to have ourselves a good old-fashioned seance.
Jack's gonna nod, slowly set down both objects that he's holding, the candle and the baby, and take out his flask.
Okay.
Take a big old drink.
You don't even fight it. Okay.
Nope.
You keep ruining that one for me.
Sorry.
he takes a drink. Okay.
Yep. And
The planchette is moving.
Can I tell who this ghostly figure is? Do I recognize them or?
They're too far away.
Okay.
You can just see that it's a humanoid figure sitting in the chair up against one of the walls.
Alrighty.
You do notice that there is no light reflection coming off of the cabinet doors or the altar.
Do I still have the journal that Tyson had handed me?
Yes.
Alrighty, I'm gonna go over to where the planchette is now moving and start just writing whatever letters it is going to.
Okay. So you're doing this, writing it out.
I'm gonna watch and drink.
Okay.
Jack is being very helpful right now.
S T A Y S T A Y S T A Y, and it begins to move faster between those letters.
As it's moving, I'm going to place my hands up on it and I'm going to use my dreamer ability.
Okay. 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 Please roll.
Alrighty, we'll do.
Jack.
Yes, 16.
Okay. So are you intending, what person are you intending? The person in front of you?
Yes.
Specifically this person
Yes.
in front of you?
Because
Are you assuming?
I am very much assuming that it's Borland. Like it
So
hasn't
you
even
are-
crossed my mind that it's someone else.
Okay. So you're attempting, you are intending to arrive with Borland.
Yes.
Okay.
Has the figure made any movement whatsoever?
Nope. Its finger is tapping at the same rate of the tapping that you heard earlier.
Ah. I'm going to, because I completely forgot that I had this. I'm going to reach sort of behind me and just pull out my gun. And
Okay.
I'm not going to point it. I'm not even going to show aggression. I'm just going to hold it in my hand, sort of behind my leg a little bit.
The first ulterior, like in the first movement you see of this figure, apart from its tapping of the hand, is you now see, because of the movement, its face is elongated, and you see it tilt.
I want to take a step back.
Eleonora, you focus in, and as you're doing, you're focusing in on something you've done before. As you're standing there, Jack, you look over and Eleonora's eyes roll back and she collapses.
Okay, I'll make a move towards her.
Okay, but she is now laying on the floor, her eyes rolled back, fluttering. You can hear her mumbling something under her breath. Eleonora, you find yourself floating through the house, through the walls, dilapidated, old, broken. You find yourself going up the stairs. You hear sobbing. In one corner, as you're going up the stairs, there is a woman sitting at the top by the guardrail, gripped on. She's unfamiliar to you. In ways, she appears similar to Hansen, but she's wearing what was once very nice attire. She's sobbing to the point where now there are raw marks across her face from sobbing. She's shaking. Your form goes past her. To your right, there is a male figure. A piece of vine wrapped around his neck.
Mm-hmm.
As you look further, all over him wrapped and bound this English ivy, holding him to the wall. As you look, it's growing through his mouth, out his eyes, and you can hear him what would be screaming were their vocal cords in a constant state of fear, and you can feel it, the torment, as you're passing. You pass the assistance room. You peer in as you go by, and you see the assistant curled up on the floor, hands overhead, in panic, frozen, screaming, blood pouring from his ears and his nose and his mouth. You further down the hallway, and you enter Hanson's room. Hanson is nowhere to be seen. Your vision floats downward to the floor, to where you feel like you're laying on your side. And you peer over, and under the bed, you see Hanson. You see the glint of eyes first. You can see fear, panic. A light, seemingly from a candle, goes forward and illuminates his face, torn from eye to to jaw, flopped open, teeth exposed, gum line, and you can see him shaking in fear. And he reaches out, and as he reaches out, you come to on the floor.
Is there like a ghostly figure still there and everything, or?
Yeah, the ghostly figure is still sitting there.
I'm standing over top of you.
Yeah, so Jack, the whole time you're standing there over top, do you do anything while she is in this state?
I just do the sort of, panicky, like, tap the face and Eleanor, are you okay? Breathe, hello, that sort of thing. Which I'm still probably doing when she wakes up.
Yes.
Okay, as soon as I wake up, I'm gonna see Jack over me, and I'm gonna crawl away from him a bit and just kind of try to reason what I have just seen, then kind of come back slowly. And something very bad is happening here.
Yeah.
The planchette moves in a different direction.
I'm gonna try to mentally take note of like whatever it's saying.
N O H O P E, and then it goes back to STAY, and it begins to move faster and faster and more furiously. And as that is happening, you can see the head of this figure like flickering from moving so quick.
I'm gonna reach out and grab Jack's arm and just be like, I don't think that's Hanson.
And then the planchette moves over and goes, no.
I think we need to get out of here right now.
And it begins to STAY. Back in the other room.
Go. Yeah.
Back in the other room.
You can stay in there.
Tyson, you are sitting there. You are overwhelmed, and I need you to please roll one of your disadvantages.
The repressed
memory. Yes, please. So just roll your 2d10.
Oh, thank God. 15.
15. You're sitting there, and you see these, the windows are fogging up, and you see these hands, and you hear the screaming, and you clinch, and you almost scream. But as you look back, it's rain. It's wind. It's the same as earlier. Thunder crashing.
Since I had to roll from my memories, it always leaves me distracted and technically weakened to do that. So we're also going to roll the other boy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 6.
Okay. Tyson.
Uh-huh.
You feel yourself compelled to sit in Hanson's chair.
I've been standing a while, that makes sense. I'm gonna go ahead and sit in Hanson's seat.
You take out that shirt. It's in your bag. You put it on. You button
It's
it up.
cold. That makes sense.
You take the business ledger and you open it.
Definitely need to find information, so that makes sense.
And you begin flipping through. What are you looking for?
Specifically, chronologically, I want to look for dates and revolving around the same time that the journal's missing dates.
Okay, you go back even to the oldest, and this is only from like a few years ago. There have to be more ledgers. You look back on the wall, more business ledgers.
Do I feel compelled to stay in this seat?
Yes.
So I can't go over to get it.
In the other room, the figure disappears. And your candles come back up, but the shelf does not open. Tyson. Sitting across from you, in one of the empty chairs, a figure seemingly walks through the office door, takes a seat. You cannot make out their face.
The figure, is it like a full shadowy figure, or can I determine?
The light's
anything?
dim. You just can tell it's humanoid, elongated face. And
Do
it's
I-
just tapping its finger.
In this moment, do I feel any familiarity to it?
No. This is new.
Who are you? Okay. Not one for words. Are you... Now, if I try to move, do I feel like I can't move, like I'm stuck, or do I just...
The lights
you the
grow dimmer, the curtains close.
Are you the reason I can't move?
And it points at you.
Are you here to hurt me? What? Why? What did I...
For the first time, there is just enough light as your candle flickers that you make out a obscenely wide mouth twist upward into a smile. It appears pale and pockmarked and ashy as the lights dim even more and the curtains close. And the chair scoots up to the desk, slamming into your desk, knocking your chair backwards as the lights go completely out, and you can feel something on your face breathing. And you just hear the slightest giggle as the curtains slam back open and you are in an empty office. The bookshelf opens.
Can I get up?
You can. You, at this moment, you guys, I assume, have been frantically trying to get out.
Yeah.
The bookshelf opens. Like, you're like on it trying to figure out how to open, and it just opens and you kind of stumble in a bit. And Tyson's on the floor wearing that old shirt.
I'm gonna run over to Tyson and make sure
and crying.
he's living. And crying.
Please roll and keep it together for me.
That's wait, keep it together is willpower?
Yes.
Excellent. That is a 16.
Okay. You manage to still yourself, albeit you're still tearing up. You do manage to stave off any further instability. You guys enter and you see this.
Yeah, I'm gonna run over to Tyson and try to comfort him. Just what happened? The door slammed, and I can't make sense of what happened on our end. But are you okay?
No, I'm not. No, no. I don't know.
Are you guys in there? I don't know if you should be in there.
We're
We're
looking for a
okay,
bathroom.
Mimi.
Okay, they said that Mr. Tyson was still running around without his shirt on.
Yeah,
We've got him a shirt now.
Oh, okay, I'll tell Scarlett as she goes away from the door.
Tyson kind of jumps up and like tries to rush over to the door.
Mm-hmm.
And tries to open it.
It opens and everybody turns to look as you swing this door.
Do I still see Mimi, or did Mimi move too fast?
Mimi is like partially walked away and you startle her and she's like,
and I'm gonna Tyson's gonna like rush up to Mimi.
Are you okay? You're sweating.
How long have you worked for Hanson?
Almost my whole life.
He's had a lot of companions, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he take my mother on travels? Do you know of this?
He kept that kind of. He took lots of people.
Amy, I know you know something. I need to know. And hey, it'll be okay, because we'll figure things out together, right?
You shouldn't. Just wait till tomorrow. You shouldn't dig.
There's a lot going on, and I know you know something.
Don't dig through this dusty old house. Just.
I feel like the problem isn't me digging in the house. The problem is that the house likes to dig itself.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you know what happened to Hanson?
No.
I know that Scarlett and him fought. Do you know about the fight?
And she kind of just grabs you by the collar and goes and closes the office door. Who told you about that?
It's besides the point. I know that they fought
All the
just
time.
before, but they had a big one, especially involving the will.
Well, yeah, they were divorced and she was mad that she wasn't getting his money.
Do you know who is?
No.
Do you know what happened to Mr. Hanson?
No. I haven't.
Can I
This is the first time I've seen him.
can
Frederick's
I roll
the one that found him.
an interrogation? Because I get to
Yeah.
ask, like, are you lying or whatever?
Yes, do it.
While he interrogates, I'm gonna read a person being intuitive. That is.
Oh, actually, I just get to do it.
Oh.
Whenever I ask about a person, object, or name, I may ask, "Are you lying?" which doesn't count towards my questions.
Okay.
But
I have a 10.
A 10?
So, yep. So I get 2 questions when I read a person.
Okay.
But I'll wait till he'll.
Yeah, because he might get some questions.
Yeah.
13.
Mm-hmm.
So I get 1, I think.
Interrogator for that's investigation, or
Yeah.
yes. Then you get.
Or no, intuition.
Intuition.
Sorry.
Then yes.
Okay. The first one I'll ask is she lying? Because that one's free.
Yes.
So I will ask again. I will. I will get closer to her, take a step closer, and sort of get down on her level. Do you know what happened to Dr. Hansen? I know you know. I just want to know what you know.
I don't.
I already know.
He upset something. He was always messing around with all those stupid things, and I told him one day something was going to get him, and that's what happened. You act like a stupid, ignorant old man, and eventually that shit gets you.
Okay.
I don't know what got him. It had to have been something in his house. He brought all kinds of mad stuff here. So I know nobody wants to stay working here. I'm just so lucky that it all left me alone.
Okay.
Everyone calls me crazy because I'm superstitious, supposedly. But they've not seen the things I've seen. One time, I saw a light switch turn itself off.
Oh, that is scary. Well, I appreciate it. I mean, you know, I want to find the answers as well. Do you know?
I just want to get this over with so I can leave.
Do you know of somebody who might know more?
Probably Frederick. He was the one that found him.
Okay. Thank you.
Tyson, watch the company you keep.
One question that I want to trigger for reading is how does she feel right now?
Terrified.
Reading her body language, what does she wish I would do? What is her inclination kind of vibing towards with everything, the interrogation she's been receiving?
She seems to want to leave this situation.
I just want to ask you, mate, with the fact that Hansen's gone, are you still going to be working here, or are you going to leave?
I'm leaving.
Is that a shared sentiment with the other staff?
No.
Why have you stayed so long?
The Borlands treated me right. I believed in him. Hansen drove it into the ground.
Because of the stuff he's been messing with?
Yes.
And Tyson just kind of steps back and just kind of like turns around. He's doing the whole hand over and is like almost nail biting.
Mimi leaves the room.
While all this is going on, I will have snuck out of the room because I want to see what Hansen's body looks like.
Okay, so you sneak out of the room. And you make your way past everybody. Wait in line briefly. Make it to the edge of the casket and you peer in. Does not look like the figure you saw. No disfigured. There is a slight line right here that you can see. The makeup's done very well. Hansen is 46 years old, or was. His hair is stark white. You do not remember that being the case. He was blonde. His face is wrinkled and worn. Jowls. This looks like Hansen, but he was not this aged.
I'm going to take my hand and kind of like rub at his face where the makeup is to see if it resembles like his face torn like I saw whenever I was in my dream state.
Carefully, there is a distinct red line hidden under the makeup.
Okay. I'm gonna back away from the casket, just like tears automatically streaming down my face, just terrified and very sad about the horrible fate my friend most likely had.
You turn around. Everybody in the room is staring at you.
I'm gonna back towards the coffin and just feel like extremely out of place. Just kind of looking from like face to face.
One of the maids, a smaller woman, seems to take notice of you and rushes over and takes your hand. Come with me. Come on.
Okay.
And she leads you, immediately just kind of takes your hand and leads you out of the room. All of the people staring as you exit. As she leads you out, I don't know what is going on with all of those people, but they don't talk.
Why are they all staring?
I don't know. Come with me to look at this real quick. I found this room. There's a bunch of stuff in it. And she leads you, and she goes towards the stairs. It's over here. And this girl looks concerned. She seems like, as she's like looking around and she's whispering to you.
Mm-hmm. Can I roll to see if I can get a read on her first?
Yes. Okay. Absolutely. I expect you to do this. Please do.
Ooh, that's bad. That's so a 4.
Okay. As she's leading you, you kind of keep looking around, and were you looking for something here?
I can't remember. I
mean, game recognizes game.
I was looking for something, but
then you definitely want to come look at this room, but also away from. Just come on. And she kind of looks down and is like leading you up the stairs, the opposite direction of Hanson's room. So like there's Hanson's room, and she goes to one of what you know to be like a coat closet, and she opens the coat closet and she pushes at the back, and a panel turns sideways.
How did you find this?
I was unloading all the coats and I kind of fell over.
Does this woman look familiar to me? Have I seen her before?
She doesn't. She would seem like probably one of the staff that they hired for the event.
Okay.
But she's like, I was putting away the her coat, and she points at this black fur coat that's hung, and I fell, and she kind of called me a lot of really hateful things.
That sounds like her.
And she goes in and like lights this torch, this like lantern in there, and there are more shelves with relics, and it's a small room. You can see kind of as you're peering in. It's maybe 6 by 6 as she goes in.
Before I go in, I just kind of call, you promise if I follow you, you won't leave me.
Did people no, please don't leave me. And she kind of is like stepping out of the room, like she's acting nervous, like she thought you were behind her and she realizes you're not in there, and she like and goes in. I didn't like come in because I thought it might close behind me, because like Adora did that earlier.
Doors seem to be doing that a lot here in this house tonight.
Yeah. And you go in, and there are urns and canisters, and you recognize enchantment attempts. These are all holding things.
Mm-hmm.
You get the feeling that this might be the right track.
Okay. I'm going to reach out and use Bound and see if I can get a sense of what it is that I'm looking for exactly, or where it is in the room.
Okay, please do.
Okay, it's a 12.
A 12?
Mm-hmm.
So I will say, using one of those options below, one of the canisters in the bottom left, you begin to hear, Eleonora, you've come at last.
I'm gonna
It's
kind of
time to keep your end of the deal. And then I need you to do me a favor. And please just roll 2d10.
Oh boy. 16.
16. Okay. You begin to feel cold only briefly, and you shake it off.
I'm gonna start walking around the room, trying to like catalog of where everything is, but slowly making my way towards this vase.
It continues to whisper at you.
I'm gonna look towards Maid and just, oh, does anyone else know about this room?
Mm-mm.
I see. I'm gonna try and slip the urn like into like a pocket I have or anything.
Yeah, you definitely have. I mean, you are a woman of yeah, you got this. Yeah, you definitely just you should definitely help yourself to more of this. Because I heard the old bag say she was just gonna sell it all and pocket it because she thinks that she's gonna get everything. She's been like taking artifact stuff out of his collection and hiding it for herself.
I see. That might explain a lot of the stuff that's been going on then. But I would be very careful if I was you around these items.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I only like to sell this stuff because I think it's kind of bullshit. But, you know, people believe in it, so.
You had told me it's the same thing you did just now. Yesterday I would have completely agreed with you, but after today I am a little less sure. But
I don't like that. Yeah.
Thank you for
do
showing me.
Do you want any more of these?
No, I think what I have is good.
And she reaches and takes one and stuffs it like under her apron. I'm gonna take one too.
Okay.
And she goes to leave the room and exits into the hallway.
I follow her.
Okay. As you're following her, like, you make your way out into the hallway and she's gone. And you're standing in the hallway. The lanterns flicker. And Mimi is making her way up the stairs.
I want to look back at the closet and see if
It's still open.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in and close it and kind of just like mentally note like where it is if I want to come back.
What are you doing in the coat closet?
Oh, I must have misplaced my coat earlier. I can't seem to find it.
Well, I mean, you're the one that hung it up.
That's a great point, Mimi. I'll keep checking.
I mean, we don't have a coat check. Just, you're the one that put it up. Okay. And she goes to walk away. Eleonora, you feel a heat in your pocket from where you had stashed the arm. Your arm shoots up and grips the back of Mimi's neck.
Oh, well, that's not good.
And I need you to roll aggression for me, please.
Oh, no.
Oh.
That's an 18.
First fight, guys.
Damn. Eleanor got hands.
That's actually something she's not good at.
I don't know how I rolled that.
She's like, I
It's
can
the
see into
urn.
the future, and you about to get your hands beat.
Okay, so you grip and sling, and Mimi goes tumbling down the stairs before finally halting at the bottom, and you hear
Am I like aware of what I just did?
You
Like,
are perfectly aware you had no control over your arm.
Alright, I'm gonna scream immediately and start running towards where Mimi is at the bottom of the stairs.
And I feel like with the sound, I think
Yeah.
Tyson, and I'm pretty sure Jack is also. Yeah, Tyson's left the room to go.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
Heard
guys.
the thud.
You
Yeah.
guys book it. And Eleonora, you get to the stairs. What are you doing?
I'm checking Mimi. I'm trying to see if she's dead.
As you're checking, you're feeling for her pulse, you hear a whisper come from her mouth. Stay. Jack and Tyson immediately, you come up on this body, very quickly followed by Frederick. None of the other guests seem to be coming.
So Tyson's first checking to see if Mimi's alive.
She's not. As you come down, her neck is bent like
Oh, there was no point in checking the pulse. Got it. Yeah.
she's
I'm
very
gonna-
dead.
Immediately give her the once over for a crime scene investigator.
Do it.
Damn, it's a dead body.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm gonna
roll-
have to repress memories. Yep. Damn.
14.
14 for, let's see here, double checking your
Reason.
okay, so you get one question out of the questions on that list.
I can't. Can I? I don't want to. I don't want to know. Can I know the chain of events?
You are looking, and it appears that Mimi fell very violently down the stairs.
Right.
Like, you can tell that it was like a lot of force for her to, because realistically she should have hit something, stopped. It's almost like she was blown down the stairs. You do notice marks on the back of her neck.
That's what I was afraid of. I'm gonna look up at Eleonora. What happened?
It's perfect
I
timing
am-
for Tyson to roll a 13.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Okay, good for me.
Yep.
I'm
just so you know, for
Yeah.
when it triggers.
I am just absolutely like sobbing and just like absolutely just speaking gibberish on the floor at this point. Like, I am terrified. I'm just gonna look over at Jack and be like, I don't know. I don't know.
At the doorway to the red light that leads to the red room, you notice all of the guests are standing there staring at all of you. And Frederick is sitting on the floor next to, and he's holding Mimi's hand, sobbing.
I'm gonna do the police thing and try to get up and corral everybody into a different room away from the scene.
As you're motioning at them, they don't move, they just look at you.
Dope.
Eventually, like, as you're doing this, they kind of stop and almost in unison begin to step away and walk back into the red room.
Are me and Tyson alone right now while Jack is like ushering people away?
Very briefly.
I'm just gonna look up and just like grab Tyson's hand and be like, I didn't mean to, I swear. I don't know what happened.
I feel like that specific wording would trigger the repressed memory again.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so.
Please give me all of the holds.
It's a 5.
Oh god. Was I able to deduce that from the chain of events and her response? Like, am I assuming it was her?
Go ahead and roll a reason check for me. Tyson, please roll keep it together.
Yeah.
You are going to lose 2 stability. What was your keep it together?
7.
You are going to lose 4 stability total.
Oh,
Four stability total.
Wait, total. So 7 altogether, or
no, like I'm saying, from what you're losing right now, you're losing 4 total.
Oh, okay. I mean, no, but okay.
And you begin screaming and apologizing profusely.
Let me just roll the other one while we're at it then, since that means I'm weakened.
Is that what I come back to?
Yes, please roll this one. Why do
A
you keep
2?
setting?
A 2?
2-1? Oh wait, you have to minus a bunch of stuff.
It's 2 1s. I rolled snake eyes.
Okay. But yeah, you are screaming. And in a deep voice, Eleonora, you hear Tyson say, and it's coming from him, but it doesn't sound like him. It doesn't sound like it's coming from his mouth. It's almost like somebody's whispering over his shoulder. And you hear, he didn't mean to do it either.
Tyson, you're scaring me.
Don't be afraid. Stay.
I'm just gonna
Tyson, you will lunge up, reaching up for Eleonora before you catch yourself and stop.
Oh, thank goodness, because so it doesn't trigger the inner power, right? Or does it?
It does not. Jack, you see Tyson like reach up for Eleonora. You see her backing away.
I'm going to sort of not lunge at him, but like step between the two, essentially.
Yeah.
Kind of pull him back away from the scene a little bit. What is going on?
I am just sobbing and just like holding my head in my hands, just screaming like, I don't understand. I don't understand.
Roll a keep it together for me, Eleonora.
Okay.
In that moment, a man comes from upstairs quickly running. This man does not act in the same way as the others. And he comes over and he sees Mimi. What? And he's begins speaking to Frederick, and you can see that they're flipping her over. They're wrapping her arms, and you can see that this man is, the way that he is handling Mimi, he's clearly a professional. And they are beginning to move Mimi out of this room. And it seems like they are going to one of the offshoot, like, lounging areas. As the storm outside, the thunder roars.
I'm gonna tell them to hold up. I need to go with you, and I'm gonna try to follow them.
Okay, so you follow them as they take her into the next room. Eleonora and Tyson, what are you doing in this moment?
I rolled a 13 for keep it together.
Okay. You will lose 1 stability because you threw somebody downstairs.
Yeah, no, understandable.
Fair.
Am I in control of me?
Yes, you are now. It's just that was a strange familiar urge.
Got it. Tyson has, I don't know if it's Tyson or casual. Neither of us know what to do.
Eleanor's still just crying, just does not understand what just happened.
As you're sitting there crying, the maid that you had seen earlier, like, peeks out from under the stairwell on the other side by the hidden pantry door and is like motioning towards you, Eleonora.
I'm scared of Tyson right now, so I'm immediately going to go towards the friendliest face I can find.
That's very fair.
As you reach to her, she takes your hand and like leads you through this pantry door, through the pantry and into the kitchen, and sits you down up next to the cabinet. And she just hands you a glass of water and is just holding your hand.
Thank you so much. I don't know. I don't know what is happening.
I didn't see it. I'd gone down the hall.
I think I did something bad.
But why would you?
I don't know. What did you say your name was?
As the lights in the room go out, just dimly lit enough that you can see a wide, pocked, ashy mouth twisting upward in a smile. As it leans in, you can just vaguely make out its elongated, moon-shaped face.
Ooh.
And deep pocked eyes. Why would you go and do a fool thing like that? Stay. And then it's gone as the lights come back on, and you are sitting in the kitchen area alone.
Oh, I am just losing it. I can't trust nobody. I am just sobbing.
Yeah. Do roll a keep it together. Is that as traumatic? Tyson, what are you doing?
So I rolled to see if Tyson is angry or remorseful. He is remorseful, and he was gonna go try to talk to Eleonora.
Are you did you see you saw the general direction she went?
Yeah.
So you go that direction.
Take a moment, then go. Yeah.
Okay. So you're heading that direction. Jack, you follow them as they take Mimi and they lay her on one of the chaise longues in the room. Frederick is, for the first time you see this very stoic man just broken, and he is sitting on the ground next to Mimi holding her hand, and he's trying to make conversation and trying to, as this doctor is attempting to make sense and trying to figure out what they can do. Well, we can put her, Fred, we can put her in the freezer until tomorrow morning, and I can call a cart up, and we can get her down to the mortuary, and we can take a look. Detective, you, right?
Yes.
Frederick said you're a detective?
Yes.
What?
It appears she was thrown down the stairs. Look on the back of her neck. There's a handprint.
He kind of, and as he lifts, the handprint is massive. As you're looking, it's huge. It's the back of her head almost. It is easily almost a foot wide. This span is huge. This does not make sense. And something in this, you're looking, it's familiar.
Oh, shit.
Why does this sound familiar?
I've seen this before.
I don't understand what could have done this. It doesn't make any sense. And he looks down. And the doctor is baffled, sitting down, staring at this woman and the mark on the back of her neck.
I don't know. I was here hoping to find answers, not a new body.
Frederick looks over. You were hired to figure things out and not cause more.
Maybe this will provide new evidence.
And he's sobbing, and you just hear him under his breath. My Mimi is not evidence.
Sure. And I'm going to take my flask out and set it down on the table and just walk out. As
you go to leave your flask, Is it empty?
No, because most of the drinking I did was at the bar.
Okay. As you leave it, you exit the doorway and you get this twisted feeling in your gut. I need you to roll for your addiction.
Right.
Yep. That's just 2d10.
Okay. What is it? Oh, it's just straight 2d10?
Mm-hmm.
That's 10.
10. You need the bartender. You need a drink. You're sick of the old rancid ass whiskey sitting in that flask. You want something like you had earlier. And you are determined to go find the bartender and get another shot from her.
Wasn't exactly what I had in mind, but sounds good to me, so that's what I'll do.
Okay. So you make your way through the foyer. You see there's still a little bit of blood on the floor. Go into the dining room that's relatively empty, and sitting at the bar, leaning up against it, kind of with like this confused look on her face, is Delilah, the bartender.
Afternoon, I guess, at this point.
Almost dinner time.
Yeah, good. I need a drink.
You and me both. And she takes out 2 shot glasses, reaches down, pulls out a clear liquid with gold flakes floating through, pours, sets it on the table. Here's to this shit being over with.
Quickly.
Slams it back down, picks up the bottle, pours, sets it down. And continues to do that. And repetition.
While I'm doing that, I'm now replaying both the previous murder and this one in my head. Just facts and logistics and all that sort of stuff as I get hammered.
Yeah. How many rounds do you go through?
Hammered.
You are hammered. So you're sitting there. You are hammered to the point of falling over.
Yeah.
And at that point, Viv, the cook, walks in, and you are like, you notice like you kind of, and eventually you go to stumble to leave the dining room, and you just kind of fall to the ground, and you're kind of sitting there with your head up against the wall. You look over, the bartender is left, and Viv comes in, the cook. What are you doing? And did you get into the stash?
Bartender gave it to me.
What bartender?
Starts with a D. Debbie the bartender.
You've had a little too. Okay. Do you need help getting to your room?
I like it here. It's real.
Okay. Well. Okay. Where's Frederick? I can't find Frederick or Mimi.
He's in the room with the dead body.
What? With Hanson? I looked just now, like a second ago, and they weren't in there.
That body, yep. Nope, I haven't seen him. I've been here.
Okay, I'm gonna go look upstairs. Okay, here's some water.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know anybody here that would have like just really big hands? Just like a big dude.
Well, Frederick and Hanson had the biggest hands I've ever seen.
Sure. Okay, well. Scoodly-doo.
Yeah. And she just kind of like backs out of there. Tyson and Eleonora. Eleonora, you've been panicking. So in the meantime, the entire time y'all are doing this, Jack is just getting hammered in the dining room.
As one does. Also, I got a 12 for keep it together earlier.
Okay, yeah. So you're
Tyson will walk in and very
You don't like
somber.
the dark, by the way. You don't want to be in the dark. Eleonora.
Oh, okay.
Tyson's gonna walk in kind of like disarmingly, like aware because I was aware like it was one of those I couldn't control myself when it happened.
Yes.
But I didn't hear the voice, right?
Which one? Nope.
The one where the whisper, but that was okay. So yeah, he's going to kind of try to step closer. Eleonora?
Tyson?
I want to be able to explain what happened. But even if I did, it wouldn't make sense. I would never try to hurt you. I would never want to hurt anyone.
I'm gonna start backing away, and if you are Tyson, if you are who you say you are, tell me something only he would know.
It's tough. What would Tyson know that?
How much she charges for a fortune reading?
Well, I mean, I used to always take time to go get a fortune told by you, but I wouldn't just do that. I came in every time with a different treat until I found out specifically which baked good you specifically liked. I even made sure that you had the right amount of sprinkles decorated in the right way to enjoy, that you like them. To the point that I learned how to bake them myself to make them for you. And even though you said it was great, I can tell that you did not like the first batch I made, but you were being really nice to me because I know they were really dry and kind of burnt on the inside.
After that, she's just gonna start crying, and I'm just gonna immediately run up to Tyson and hug him and just start going into what happened. I was at the top of the stairs and Mimi, and then I grabbed her and then I threw her down the stairs and she's dead and I killed her, and I saw Hanson and his face was just completely torn open and something hurt him, something killed him. I'm so scared, Tyson. Please. I want it to go away.
I want to as well. All I know is, based on what's been happening, Hanson had something that is not very happy now. And I don't know what it's connected to. And either it's just a long shot or it's a big secret, but Hanson might be my dad.
That is a new one for me now. I'm gonna reach into my pocket and pull out the urn and I found this. Something showed it to me. It wasn't what I thought it was though. The lights went off and it was this huge mouth and just.
And then Tyson's gonna kind of like put up a finger. Wait. I'm going to be safe. Tyson is going to scan the room to just in case. What is it? I'm basically going to use enhanced awareness. I want to ensure that this room is safe.
Yeah.
So we're gonna. There we go. It's a 19.
A 19
to see through the illusion. If what the room we're in isn't what it's supposed to be, I will see the truth of the room.
Okay. Okay. So, as you're peering around, you begin to see the kitchen pristine, not run down a bit like it is now, not dilapidated. It's well kept. There's a small cook frantically making her way around the room. She seems unaware of you two. It's Viv. Frantic, frantic, frantic. She can't leave this room. Frantic, frantic. She looks up at you. She has no mouth. Frantic, frantic.
I'm going to try to focus on Eleonora. You have the ability to connect to people, yes? In a way that's more than the natural world?
I don't know. I used to think it was just games. I was just reading people well, but I don't know. I saw Hanson. I can try it. I don't know what will happen. I don't want to hurt you, Tyson. I don't know what happened with
No.
Mimi.
I trust you. And if you trust me, I want you to see what I can see.
Okay.
What ability are you triggering for this scene?
What I want to do is see if there's a way, specifically, we can try to create a ritual. So I want to take this energy I have, and Tyson's a very spiritualist. I basically want to do see through the illusion as a ritual for Eleonora.
Well, let's see here. She has...
I don't know if she has any specific abilities, but my goal is to either...
Well, you have already used one of your advantages for this specific scene. So, you can continue to roll checks. However, Eleonora, if you would like to invoke one of your advantages for this scene, you can.
I would in fact like to do that. Trying to think of which one would be the...
Probably Dreamer or Magical Intuition.
Okay, that was the two I was wondering about. I think I'm gonna try Magical Intuition.
Okay.
Alright. So 17?
17. Okay. Choose up to 3 options.
Okay.
So you get all 3 options.
I'm gonna grab my paper real fast. Alrighty, let's see. So I'm trying to see like what's going on like through Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to see what his true nature is, I guess.
Okay. So Tyson, in and of himself, as you're seeing, is very pure-hearted. But there's something lurking behind him. It seems rooted to him, and it's... You can't nail down specifically, like, the exact intention. You just feel malice for everything.
Okay. And then trying to see like, is there like a magical sense to it? Do I get the feeling like it's some kind of like curse, or like can I discern what kind of magic it might be?
It definitely feels like it's definitely it feels curse-like in nature.
Okay. Can I attempt to see like the source of this possible curse, or what it is, or like the beginning, I guess?
The beginning of this curse.
Yes.
You close your eyes and you're honing in, and you feel your chin being pulled upwards until you are staring straight up at the ceiling. It's up. Whatever it is up.
Okay, I'm gonna come out of my like trance state then. I'm gonna think for a second. Tyson, I don't know how to explain this other than there's something I kept seeing up. Like, it's almost like there's like this energy formed around you. It's a bad energy though. It's very malicious. I can't tell what its goals are though. I can't tell what it wants. It almost feels like a curse maybe. I feel strange telling you that, but
It feels separate to what's going on in the house. Like it feels separate from the entity you felt earlier. It does not feel the same. This one feels worse.
okay. I don't think it has anything to do with the house or what's been going on, but it's bad. It's really bad.
So there's whatever thing is moving through the house, this strange face with a wide grin.
It's nothing to do with you, or at least I can't tell that it is.
Do I know what room is right above this one?
I mean, as far as you know, like above is just more of those bedrooms. But you do know you guys are currently directly under the Widow's Walk.
He,
And
Bet.
as you are looking around, there's a slight reflection in the glass in the window, Tyson. A twisted smile appears and vanishes as the wind rocks the window pane.
Tyson's gonna look at Eleonora. Whatever it is, whatever it takes, we're gonna make sure you get out of here, okay?
that's great, Tyson, but you know, this, I hope you get out of here too. I don't know what's going on. I can't. Mimi, I just.
Nothing here is what we think. Everything I own isn't what it appears to be. And trying to explain that wouldn't make sense. Just the shirt I'm wearing. Do you remember when I came to bring you that specific pastry, the chocolate croissant that I baked?
Yes.
Do you remember that specific shirt I was wearing? Think back.
You do remember it. It was really weird and like in your eyes it was odd, but yes, you do distinctly remember it.
Yeah, it was. It was a white shirt and it's like the typical strange attire you typically are wearing when you visit me. I mean, I didn't think anything of it.
And you remember I used to take pictures a lot. You remember the camera I had then?
It's always been the same camera.
Yeah, but it's the exact same one you have now. You've been taking pictures with it.
You hear a very loud thud coming from the dining room. Jack, you've fallen over.
I have to. We will figure this out. Something's not lining up. I can't explain it because what you see and what I see are two different things. But I promise you, it will make sense soon. I hope.
You hear like grumbling and cursing coming from the dining room.
We gotta keep Jack in check too. The more I'm realizing is less and less people here can be trusted. If it's not us three or Fergus, as strange as he might be, are the only people who I know for sure have always been here and have always been, I don't know, real. That and, well, Mimi, but if it's not us, don't trust it.
I don't know what's going on, Tyson, but I believe you. I don't know what it is that's happening to you, but I believe you.
Jack, as you are now stumbled over under the ground, what are you trying to do?
As I'm laying on my back, I was just curious. Do I see any moths fluttering by?
That is a good question. You're looking around and you kind of roll over and look, and one's crawling out from under the table and comes and like goes to crawl on your hand.
There you are.
It bites your finger,
Ow.
which is unusual.
Did it draw blood?
Yes. And you
That's
can
a
see
lot.
you can see the proboscis like cleaning it up.
All right, I'm going to
Jack,
wait till you tell
your
me
cell phone is ringing.
my what?
Your cell phone is ringing. There's ringing coming from your pocket, Jack.
Okay, I will. Do I
You
know
re-
how to answer it?
You reach in and you pull it out too late, but you're holding this flip phone, this alien device to you. 27 missed calls. 20 voicemails. A notification saying mailbox full.
Can I figure out how to get to the missed calls to see who they're from?
You start mashing buttons and nothing seems to be happening. There's lots of beeping and dialing as you look up from the floor, and some of the guests have gathered at the doorway. And they're staring down at you. And they take a step forward in unison.
I'm going to try and stand up.
Okay, let's do a reflexes to stand up.
Sure. I'm good at that. That is 12 minus 1, 11.
Okay. You do go to stand up, and you manage to stand up shakily, but you pull one of the chairs down and kind of hit your elbow, and your right arm is like really numb and tingly right now, and you drop the phone. As it falls, it disappears. You're looking down, you don't see it anywhere. They take another step forward. Behind you is the door to the kitchen. And another step forward.
Shaky room, huh?
As you say that, one of them in the back, their head starts to flick all directions and rolling backwards.
Okay.
Another step forward.
Too much alcohol, and I will start backing up. Nope, can't do that. I'm gonna turn around.
Okay, so you turn and you hit
Yep.
the swinging doors that is the kitchen. Jack stumbles into the kitchen, drunk, and you see this frantic look on his face.
And do I see a crowd behind him? Is the door open when we look?
It swings and you look over, and the faceless people are stepping in unison. One of them in the back, the head is going gyroscopic. Another step as the doors swing.
I'm drunk, but I don't know if you can tell what's going on.
And I don't know what's going on, but that's not normal, and that's saying something, because nothing here is
Step.
normal.
Step.
I'm gonna put my urn back in my pocket and kind of start backing towards the other door.
There
Yeah,
is a door that leads, actually, let me double check my map because I do have blueprints for the house. So from here,
nice.
yes. So from here, you do know that there is another door on this far side of the kitchen that actually leads into another hallway that actually leads directly out onto the back spread. It leads outside.
So, Tyson's gonna take Eleonora's hand, and kind of start trying to make their way out that way. Okay, whatever that is, we want to go the other way. This will take us out to the back.
Jack, I need you to roll 2d10.
Oh no.
I'm also pulling out my gun, by the way, just so
Okay.
we're clear. That's not bad. Oh man, it's like my roll of the night. 13 again, or 12, I guess, with the -1.
Okay. So you are managing to follow them, but you are stumbling. You hit that same arm because it's kind of flailing. You hit it again, and it's not feeling so good. It's not feeling great, my dude.
Alright,
It's
I'm gonna
worse than it was before. Like your thumb is like tingling.
I'm gonna stop. I'm left-handed, so it's all good. I'm gonna pull out my gun and tell them if they take another step, I'm going to shoot.
They come through the door. Step. Step. There are more of them now. Step.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna fire above them.
They don't react. Step.
Okay, all right.
Their faces disappear fully. You now see completely washed faces. Their jaws are moving, but it's just like flesh. And they are stepping.
Gonna turn around, and they called my bluff. I'm running.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you
Tyson has to stop. Tyson, not Eleonora. We gonna keep going.
So you guys go and you burst through these French doors onto this back spread. Still pouring down rain. The thunder is roaring. It sounds like roaring. There are footsteps running around the right side. You can hear footsteps running towards you, coming from around the house on the right side. Do you begin to run away from them?
We're at the back, and in the back is where
there's the swimming pool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's a big fence, and then the mausoleum and the graveyard. There is the swimming pool area that's like the backyard, and then further that direction is Gingham's house up on the hill.
And that's to the left.
Yeah, if you go left and head north, that's the direction it's in.
And is it still like hard visibility, or is it cleared up enough to kind of see slightly?
Oh, it's crazy pouring down rain. You can maybe see like 6 feet in front of you, but you hear those footsteps coming from around the other side of the house.
I'm gonna aim my pistol at that area. Just wait to see if he turns the corner.
And Tyson's gonna kind of keep making the steps with Eleonora to kind of get ready to keep going that way, but trying not to lose sight of Jack.
I'm shuffle stepping that way, but
you don't see anything coming. You just hear it. And you see all of the guests filling these French windows, like running all the way down. It's beautiful. Except now all of these faceless suited people are staring through these windows.
Can I roll see through the illusion to see through the illusion?
Yep.
Okay. That's not great.
Oh.
It's 11.
Okay, let's see here.
And on that same note, is my enhanced awareness still active on this current illusion circumstance?
This would technically be a news. I'll allow it. Well, I don't know, because you guys.
It's because they walked into the kitchen, and that's why I was like.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay.
I'll allow it. So you rolled an 11.
I can re-roll enhanced awareness if you need me to, just to.
Okay, so you look Eleonora in this moment, and you see the dilapidated house again.
Okay.
You see nothing in the hallway. Nothing at all. You do see a wide smile appear in one of the window panes briefly in this dilapidated house, but you see nothing in those hallways.
Okay.
But that smile is looking directly at you.
I'm gonna clutch onto Tyson harder. I'm gonna be like, I see the face again, but there's nothing else in there.
Tyson, same. but you don't see the
So-
face.
Wait, can I see into the kitchen window from where we're at?
From where you're at, no. Like it's like a window to a window. Like it's the reality is some of that wind and stuff shouldn't have been hitting the window to the kitchen.
Oh, that's even worse. Okay. All right.
Like it's like a kitchen window to a big hallway that has windows.
We got to get away from the house.
The footsteps are still running, coming from around the side of the house.
They're getting louder.
Yes, and the thunder sounds more and more like roaring. They sound less numerous. You begin to see black smoke eke around the side, it feels like, as it's getting darker outside.
Out of curiosity, with the fact that I can see through the illusion, is the pool's water look normal? Or does it, out of curiosity,
It's
look
just
like the
not
fountain?
there.
It's just, okay, it's just empty. Okay.
Yep.
Mhm. We need to get away
Where are
from
we
the
going?
house.
Where are we going?
Gingham's house is roughly this direction. I've been there several times, but we have to go carefully because of the storm.
Crash of thunder.
Let's go.
Keeping hold of Eleonora, I will start making, I still kind of do those whole like a cautious pace, careful of the floor, but like spin to Gingham's house pathway enough to kind of have the soft muscle memory to go through the storm without getting hopefully too lost.
Okay. So I will say with that, go ahead and roll an observe a situation perception for me.
That's fair. I can do that one.
As if you are leading the way.
Perception. Oh, damn. You know what? It's not bad. It's an 18.
Yeah, you, as you're looking down, you are watching the stepstones. You manage to catch sight of these stepstones as you're leaving the backyard, and it dawns on you that there are stepstones leading all the way up the path to Gingham's house. And so you just stare down and you keep an eye out for these cobbled stepstones. And you know you're on the right path. And you're running. And you're running. And you can still hear the footsteps behind you. And they stop. But you're running. And you're running. And your foot hits a wooden step. And you look up. And Gingham is standing in his doorway. Dark circles under his eyes. His pipe.
Gingham. Do you mind if we
And he
stay
just
here?
turns around and walks inside, leaves his door open.
Keeps me out, but not as much as the house, and we'll kind of go in trying to lead Eleonora.
I want to
Okay,
look back
motioning
and
for
see if I
Jack.
can see a body or a person like standing there or anybody that would have been responsible for the footsteps.
Nope. Nothing. Just rain. And the faint outline of the house.
I will say I've never been into Gingham's house, so as soon as we step in, I'm like trying to like get a vibe of like what is happening and like what is this man up to?
Which is
Yeah.
I've never been allowed in Gingham's house, but it's never stopped me from trying.
Yeah, no, it's simple. There's a fireplace. It's kind of an efficiency setup. Homemade wooden furniture, not necessarily fancy. Twin bed, small sofa, little end table, kind of quaint. Couple of books. Some very nice paintings on the wall. Small kitchenette.
Okay.
Smells like stew at the moment. It's, as you're all entering in, it's oddly comforting. Like, for the first time all day, you feel safe. And you take a deep breath as Gingham sits down at his table and puts his hand up. You too.
Yeah.
I was never much for wakes.
The dead don't sleep there.
So we've learned.
Guessing you have answers.
I know what I saw. And I don't go back.
Really don't want to ask this question. Do I see a moth anywhere in his house?
Roll 2d10.
Everything is a trap.
Everything.
13 again. 12
13?
minus 1. Yeah.
No. You look out the window and you can see one pinging around his lantern outside. But there is no moth in here.
I think we'll
It's
be all right
warm.
here.
Who of you is the most observant? I should
Like in
say.
regular observe the situation observant or spiritually
Yes,
observant?
like just I would say it's observe the situation. Like which I know that
I
Eleonora
have a
is
plus
hyper
3
checking shit
to
out.
perception.
Okay.
I got a 0 in perception.
Eleonora?
I would say I probably would be, just because that's mostly my job, is like reading people and
Yeah. Okay. Well, and I will say this then. So, Jack, as you're looking around for your mods, you're looking out the door and you look down and there's a line of salt at the door. Like inlaid, there's a divot and it seems purposely made that there is salt at the door. And you look over at the windowsills. Salt. Eleonora, you notice the salt immediately as you're in there. You also take note of a sage bundle on his dining table in an ashtray with a bunch of cigarette butts.
Gingham, why don't you stay at the house? What did
Why aren't
you
you?
see? Seen quite a few things there tonight. Things
Same.
I cannot explain. How
Then-
long has it been that way?
Not this bad.
And Tyson kind of lurches forward. King, you've been here. Do you know about my mother and her relationship with Hanson? And
I mean, Hanson kind of with everybody.
I mean, do you happen to know if he's had kids with any of them?
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, he's probably paid them all off. You know, I don't know.
I'm gonna try to check my wallet and try to pull out a photo of me and my mother.
Okay.
First off, what do I see before I move forward with this?
You and your mom.
So I'm gonna try to show you reckon, did she work here before?
No. He stares down. Jack, you see Tyson's mom. You kind of vaguely recognize her from like primary. She kind of looks like, of course, I mean, Gingham is also close to your age, Jack. He's not that old. He's been here since he was a teenager, but I mean, my dad worked here before me and his dad. We never stayed in the house long. It's got worse. And I stick to myself, you know. I don't. She looks familiar, but no, she ain't worked here. After Hanson's sister disappeared, it got worse.
Did Tyson know Hanson had a sister?
You vaguely remember it. Once upon a time, Eleonora, you've definitely heard about this. She disappeared when they were children.
So this has been going on for a while then. I know she was a child.
Not like that. I don't know what Hanson did.
Die.
Well, no shit, Sherlock.
Just connecting the dots.
So this didn't start with Hanson.
Oh, it was his daddy. And his daddy. As far as I can tell.
But he unlocked something.
How old would you say Hanson was?
He was like maybe 46.
Okay.
He didn't die natural, but everybody that comes to look at him, I don't see nothing.
His face was torn and he looked old.
None of it adds up. I'm not gonna ask questions. I'm gonna stay up here. Do my job.
Has it hurt anyone else before?
I don't know. I think maybe now, but I hadn't been in the house since Hanson. I used to go in for lunch, but poor Viv disappeared, and after that I quit. It didn't make sense that she was just gone.
Itch. Silent.
I mean, I hate to be that guy, but like, have you guys had the house checked for like gas leaks and CO and lead? Because the moment I come out of there, I feel fine.
I'll be sure to tell the next owner.
Just a thought.
We just have to make it and then we can leave.
Tomorrow morning. Weather permitting.
I don't think I need any more answers. I don't even want to investigate anymore. I just want to go home.
Oh, I'm gonna find out one way or another.
You're welcome to do whatever the hell you want. Count me out. I'm not going back. You're free to stay here. I don't got much. You can sleep in front of the fireplace. The bed's mine. Sorry, Eleonora. I mean, you're nice and all, but you can have the couch. I do consider myself a gentleman.
A pleasure as always.
You fuck with all that shit too. Everything y'all got coming to you. Brought that on yourselves. And he goes and he sits down, stands up, moves over to his bed and sits down, takes a sip of something in like a tin cup.
I'm gonna like lean over to everyone else and be like, do you think we should stay here or do you think we should go back? I feel a lot more
Tyson.
here.
Tyson.
Oh, no, don't say my name like that.
Tyson.
Go back to the first one.
Nope. You stand up. You walk to the front door. You swing the door open.
Hold.
and you let the rain come in and the wind, and it blows the salt out of the divot in the doorway.
Yeah, it does. Of course it does.
And you yell, "I'm staying." And you take off running through the storm back to the house.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Damn it,
boy.
casual.
Because I can't think of a better way for tonight.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I don't want to stop, but I also think this is a good stopping point. So thank you everyone who tuned in. Thank you everyone who will catch this on VOD. We truly appreciate you. My soul is nourished for another 2 weeks. I have been your keeper, Taryn Hackett. You can catch me on the socials at Valrook. You can also catch me and my dice making ventures over on kofi.com/UO_dice. And again, tomorrow night you can catch me on Vault, our Fallout D&T RPG. And here in a couple of weeks you can catch me on DM's screening channel as a Hexblood Druid with super witchy vibes. Got a lot of really cool collabs coming down the pipeline. I super appreciate everybody, and especially Jack.
I'm Ronan Fox. You can find me at Ronan Fox on all the socials, FAWKS, and on Twitch, where I stream every Sunday and Monday. I'm a D&D content creator, where I do high fantasy, not horror, just so we're clear. And I will also be on DM Screenings Game starting in September, and you can catch me here every other Sunday. So that's me.
Mhm.
I'm Johanna Maka. You can find me at johannaxmachina on Instagram and TikTok. And this is my first stream, and I've been loving it so far. So, been having a great time.
We gotta convince her to stick
One
around
of
forever.
us. One of us.
All right, I'm not doing anything in unison, okay?
You're right.
Stay.
This is just a one major ploy to get Anna to stay. I see what you're doing here. Okay, got it. Very immersive.
Exactly.
Casual.
Oh yeah, it's me. Oh hey, what can I say? It's J Casual. You can find me on social media at just2casual. And on Twitch you can find me at Casual Creativity, or variety streaming, doing all kinds of creative stuff, storytelling, and working on becoming a published game designer, making my own TTRPG Deep Breath, and doing wonderful things with that, where it's anime inspired, shonen manga JRPGs, where you have the high fantasy facing of dragons and wizards meeting the awesome technological advancements of the internet and a hipster with a phone casting Fireball. You can also catch me on season 2 of She is the Ancient on the Gilding Light, starting this Tuesday at, oh god, what time? Freak. I will say
Check out
5.
socials for it.
Check out socials for She is the Ancient for when we will be doing that. The season 2, episode 1 will be on Tuesday on Gilding Light. And She is the Ancient is a gender bent Curse of Strahd, which will officially be released on DM's Guild this week as well. So you get your own copy to enjoy Curse of Strahd, where all of that is just feminine power in all the right ways. I will be playing a reborn, once was a goblin, but is now a homebrewed class, which is featuring from Deep Breath. Is going to be She is the Ancient. So stay tuned for all that casualness.
Okay, guys. Well, and a quick shout out and a thank you to all of our sponsors: Session Zero Clothing, Norse Foundry, Roaming Player Gear, Mithril Armory. Again, don't forget, we have codes for those things. Do that. We have Far Realms merch, and now you really want one because you're a super fan of watching Ronan make really funny faces, watching Casual's life be torn asunder, and watching Johanna delight in everything. So I know you want one. Go do it. And thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to the Initiative Order for hosting our beautiful spooky night. And we will see you all next time Beyond the Veil.
Send help.